Hey guys, Tracy here. Summer Pick Farms, Kansas garden guy. What's up today? Well, you caught me with my hose out. Yeah, it was kind of a joke. Anyway, we're getting some colder weather coming here this weekend here in Kansas. Looks like we got some negative temperatures. Stupid groundhog. Anyway, I thought that I would get some of this stuff watered in very well, and then as you can see, I'm watering the purple mustard. Yay! And I've got our lettuce. I've got my hoops on it, watering carrots. And then what we are going to do is I'm going to put frost blankets down. Get that turned off. I'm going to put some frost blankets down, and then hopefully these carrots and lettuce will make it. If they don't, then they just don't. I mean, you can see my row of carrots and then all of our lettuce. But anyway, guys, we're not talking about high tunnel stuff today. We are talking about propagation chambers. Dun, dun, dun. We are talking about pepper seeds. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut this off, quit being dumb. And when you see me next, we'll be in the house. Here I am in my house doing another video. It's going to be kind of a first and second part of this video. It'll all be one video, just two different topics. One topic is going to be on my seed propagation tent. Two is going to be on what pepper plants I finally got in from those seed companies and what we are putting in the ground. Let me get this turned around and I'll show you what I bought. Okay, as you guys can see, I have bought a seed germination / propagation tent from Yield Lab. Right now, some of you are like, that's really cool. The other half of you are probably scratching your head thinking, what the heck is this? Well, let me explain to you what this is. What this is a 4-foot wide, 7-foot tall, 9-foot long growing tent. What it is basically for is germinating and propagating seeds. Now, once again, you're looking at the camera right now going, what in the world is he doing now? And I guarantee you, I am not growing anything illegal. And yes, if you have Googled anything or YouTubed anything or went down that YouTube rabbit hole, you know that majority of these propagation tents are used to grow legal or illegal, I guess, cannabis. Yes, Tracy, why did you buy a basically marijuana grow tent? Well, let me explain to you why I did. To grow vegetables in. Now, I Googled a lot of things to grow vegetables in your house, trying to find the best way of growing and propagating seeds indoors and outdoors to try to have the greatest succession of transplants. One, we're doubling our production. And two, we are selling transplants to other farms and other people. So I wanted to make sure that I had the best growing transplants outside. Even with my high tunnel, when you have 10 degree, 20 degree weather, you're only going to have 30 or 40 in there. So that is not warm enough yet to germinate seeds. So what we have done is bought a propagation tent. Now let me explain something. By no means am I saying it is correct to grow medicinal marijuana or anything like that. By no means do I use that product. I do not. I started watching YouTube videos on growing cannabis because I was inquired or curious about how they were growing top-notch products in small spaces. So I heard a name come up over and over and over again, and that is AC Infinity. That name kept popping up in numerous videos, from heat pads to grow lights to filtration systems. So I Googled it and I called that company. I spoke to a gentleman on the phone, a salesman on the phone, about AC Infinity products, and he said, let me explain something to you. These tents and these products are grown for vegetable growing. That's all he could say. He could not say anything else. So I asked him, I told him I was going to be propagating tomatoes, squash, zucchini, peppers, cucumbers, items like that. And he said, would be perfect. I will let you know, this is exactly what you need. if you want to grow the most starts, and yes, I have 2 racks in here, and yes, they are full of starts. I have almost 1,500 starts in these racks right now, and I still have 4 more areas down here to put 4 more 132 count trays. So that's another 500 some starts down there. I've got 72 count trays on top of 128 count trays in here. I have 1,500 starts in here right now, and if you notice, I have a couple feet on this side and a couple feet on this side. This is the reason why I bought the biggest tent, or one of the biggest tents they make, so I could put 4 racks and possibly have the production of 4,000 starts at one time. If we tend to get bigger as we have last year, we were at this level. This year, we're at this level. Hopefully next year, we triple that level, and this will be full. That's the goal. So what I did was I talked to him, and I found out what tent he thought was the best. And I've got air filtration in there. I'll get this camera turned around here in a bit, and I'll explain a little more to you. And then these racks, of course, are the racks that I had downstairs that I bought from Menards. The only difference is I now have Barina T8 Blurple grow lights. Let me get this camera turned around. Okay, let me start with the filtration system. Or let me start with this tent. Very high quality. The canvas on this tent is very thick, as you can see. And it's got Mylar on the inside. Now, the cheap knockoff Amazon tents have Mylar inside, but if you notice, this Mylar has the dimples in it. A lot of them will have a smooth Mylar, which will reflect light and heat, but it will not, what they call, radiate the heat. This will actually hold the molecules, is what I was told. Whether that's true or not, I don't know enough about Mylar to understand it. He sounded good, so I believed him. We'll see if that works or not, but this is a very high quality tent. It has systems on top, bottom, and bottom. You can see I got electrical cords come in. You can put, these pop out. These are Velcro on the back. As you can see, they do pop out. You can Velcro these closed when you want them closed and open them when you want to open them. What they're for is you can run your ventilation system in there, and then you just use these little hooks and you pull that tight and it sucks it up against the ventilation system, which is very cool. You have ventilation systems on the top and the bottom, like I said, and we also have vents on the bottom here that you can Velcro or unVelcro, and it'll suck the air in. So what you want to do here is, when I talked to him about this filter or this pump, you can see it's very high quality, very quiet. I mean, what you're hearing is this cheap fan and the humidifier I have in here to get the humidity up. What you're trying to accomplish with this fan is, on the end of this, you can order a carbon filter that goes, it's about 24 inches long, and it's a carbon filter. And what that does is it filters the air inside the tent. So if you are growing anything like cannabis or anything, any of you that have ever been around it, I hear that it has a very bad smell when it goes to flower. Very stinky smell, and that's something you do not want to regulate into your home or have someone else smell it, like if you were growing in an apartment or anything. So you put that filter on the end here, and what it does is it sucks the air into that carbon filter, and then it evacuates it out the other end as clean, fresh air that has no cannabis smell to it. You can do the same thing as tomatoes. Honestly, I was going to buy the filter just to have it, and then I guess I didn't check that box and check out, so I didn't get it. So I may do that later on just to make sure I have a filter. Just to make sure I have the cleanest air possible. So as you can see, this thing is very quiet. It's got 6 settings on it. They make one that's about another $40 more that has digital on here that you can set the thermostat on. I didn't think I needed that. So as I turn, you can see this is 2. You can hear it a little bit better. 3. Hopefully you can hear that. You can hear that fan pick up. That's on 5, 6, 7, and this is maxed out. Hopefully you can hear that. It is really, I mean, it's evacuating the air so quick out of this room, I can actually feel the air behind me rush through that door frame into this. That's how crazy. Hit it one more time and it will shut it off. And what this is for is, when you are growing with this humidity, you don't want mold, you want fresh air in this tent. And of course, when this is all zipped up, you're not getting fresh air in this tent. Let me turn this fan. I just turned it on 1. what it's doing is you want a film, and there's calculations on the internet on their site for this, but you want a pump that will evacuate the air out of this tent every minute, will evacuate every cubic inch of air out of this every minute and replace it with fresh air. So that way your plants have the best intake of fresh air as possible. So, like I said, what I've got is I've got a humidifier in here, and every day I fill that up with water. And I have it on low, so it does put about 65 to 75% humidity. Right now, as you can see, it's 76 degrees and 42% humidity. The reason why is because this tent is wide open while I'm filming for the last 8-9 minutes. And so all the humidity is coming out of this room, so there's not a whole lot of humidity. What you do have is what the plants are putting off. As you can see, this is the tomato plant that I had. I've had this in here for 3 days. I've had this tent up for 3 days. So I do have tomatoes on here. This is the one that I had downstairs in the basement that you all saw. I literally have, I think there's 6 tomatoes on here, and I've got blooms on here also. This thing has woken up in the last 3 days by being in here. It's amazing what these, and I don't even have it directly under this light. I just got it off to the side here. And, you know, I water this thing twice a week. And that's all I do water. I'll show you what I use to fertilize it, but it's the same thing I use for all these plants. But this thing is crazy cool. And I've got an orchid over here that one of my wife works for at a doctor's office. One of the doctors was throwing this away because she said it was dying, and I took it a couple months back, and it's just thriving in here. So hopefully that'll go to bloom. We'll be able to see that. And of course, I've got peppers up here, as you guys can see. Got peppers here, jalapenos in these boxes here. Now let me talk about these peppers. These are Ring of Fire cayennes, and I think this is serranos. 3 days ago, I had these downstairs that you guys, I don't know if I ever showed a video. I had these downstairs, and the reason why I moved everything upstairs is even with the heat mats, I couldn't get anything above 65 degrees on the thermostat. Stuff was spotty germination. And as you guys know, peppers need a hell of a lot heat, 80 to 85 degrees to germinate properly. So instead of putting this room downstairs where it was 50-55 in the basement and then trying to heat this area up and hopefully getting there, I decided, well, I've got a spare bedroom. I could just put it in that spare bedroom and it'll be inside the house, and then I could watch it. Because, you know, it's like deer in the headlights. I always want to look through that little door and see what everything looks like. 3 days ago, as you can see, I've got some popping up here. And some of these, here, let me show you. See how some of them are bigger in the center and some of them are smaller? These are the first ones that popped up downstairs. 3 days ago, they were that big. Everything that's small has germinated and popped up in 3 days. This is 3 days, basically 3 days of growth. I've already up-potted jalapenos into 4-inch pots to make more room because they were getting, starting to get their true leaves, as you can see. So that's how great this works. I water these every day because I want to make sure the soil stays a little bit moist. I just spritz a little bit of water on them. But guys, these down here, I have got 12 trays of starts down here right now. And Miss Carrie, if you are watching, which hopefully you are, I've got your 4 trays of starts that are on the heat mat. I just put them on and seeded them this morning. So they are on their way. But these heat mats are AC Infinity heat mats. They are 4 foot long by 20-inch long heat mats. Very high quality product, not like that Amazon junk you guys see. These are a commercial grade heat mat made to grow vegetables in high tunnels and greenhouses and propagation tents like this. Very high quality vinyl. I mean, look at this. Very beautiful graphics on it. And the plastic is thick. All I did was I put them on my digital thermostats so I could regulate the temperature to about 85 degrees. And that's all I've done. These things have been in here for 3 days, mind you, from start to now. Most pepper plants will take 10 to 12 to 15 days to germinate. 3 days, guys. 3 days. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 pepper plants germinated already in 3 days. Some of these have and some of these have not. This one has not. You can see there's a pepper plant right there. 3 days. These have been in here already. And they are already, some of them have already started to germinate. So I think this is a win-win for us. And yes, did I spend a little money? Yes, I did. Did I spend a lot of money? No, I did not. I think total with this tent, I bought a big tent. You can actually buy tents that are half this size, and you could buy tents half this size. A 2x2, a 3x3, a 4x4. I think there's a 6x6, and then this one's one of the biggest ones they make. They also make whole room tents, but this is one of the biggest ones, like half a room. I think the tent cost me a little bit over $250 to buy the tent. The heat mats were $29 a piece, which, you know, if you buy Amazon-style heat mats, they're $20. These things outweigh those by far. I will only buy AC Infinity heat mats now. This whole air filtration system with the hose and all the clamps and everything cost me $160. So literally, I've probably got about $500 invested in this whole grow area. Now, guys, I've seen most people make germination chambers out of old refrigerators, crock pots, thermostats, try to make stuff work. I did not want to jerry rig anything or halfway rig something. I wanted something that would stand the test of time, that I could use year and year again and take down and not even know the footprint was here. And this is it right here. $500. And by no means do you even have to spend that much. You can get the 4-inch filter for the smaller tents that are like $60 and run a 2x2 and put one rack in here and grow 600-700 starts. You can do that. I wanted the big one because I wanted to spend the money up front first and get everything I needed. So next year, when I do not have the money to do something, I already have this grow tent. And all I'm using for watering is the same stuff I use for my microgreens and stuff. I am using Grow Big, which is their hydroponic version. So it's their organic version, and it's a 326. All I do is I mix it with a 5-gallon bucket of water, and then I just water them once or twice a day. And I also have used this. This is a 216. This is what I use for my microgreens. It's actually a Cannabis Growing Cultivation Nation organic one, and it has the right amount of chemicals for growing microgreens and cannabis, so I use it for my microgreens. It was highly recommended from the place that I bought it for microgreens. I'm sorry if any of you guys are offended by this, knowing what these tents are generally used for. I can guarantee you 100% I am not using it for that purpose. I'm using it for germinating seeds. And then once these seeds get big enough and our weather gets decent enough, I'm going to throw these in the high tunnel, and they will be ready for summer. But once again, guys, that's this part of the video. Stick around for the second part, and we will discuss what peppers we're growing this year. Hey guys, Tracy here, Kansas Garden Guys, Summer Pick Farms. How are you guys doing today? Well, hopefully you guys stuck around for the second part of this video. First part of the video was with the propagation tent. And like I said, I apologize if I offended anybody by talking about illegal marijuana or anything like that. That was not my purpose. My purpose was to show you guys what I do here on the farm and the reasoning behind that. So, excuse me. With that being said, let's talk about the pepper choices this year and what we're doing. Well, let's start with the sweet peppers. How's that? Everybody loves California Wonder Bell Pepper. This is a Carnival blend and the California Bell. There's some California Wonders in there also. All that is a blend of red, green, orange, and white bell peppers. These seem to do very well in market. A lot of people like green peppers, or bell peppers, excuse me. And we seem to sell a lot of them. So this year, we are going to grow a lot of these. So I've got a seed starting tray. I think I've got 128 bell pepper plants started, excuse me. Next on our list will be a couple things from Johnny's. We have some hybrid sweet peppers and some coronados. And there's no pictures on these. Of course, Johnny's is, they're more into the seed quality than they are the packets. But their material on the back is very, very high quality. They're just basically a sweet snacking pepper. We had a lot of requests last year for more sweet peppers. A lot of our customers, friends and family of mine also included, wanted more of a lunchbox style, I guess, sweet pepper. So we went ahead and accommodated half of our pepper growing for sweet pepper. So these are going to be more like the Cubanelles, stuff like that. It's 5 to 8 inch long style pepper. You can roast them. You can put them in spaghetti. You can snack on. You can eat them because they are a sweet pepper, kind of like a sweet banana pepper. We've got Shishitos. Is a Japanese style snacking pepper. I think it's got a little bit of heat. when I Googled it, but not a whole lot. Cubanelles, of course, are just like eating a very sweet green pepper or bell pepper. And if we've got one called Great Stuff Hybrid, it's from Burpee, and it's basically a 6 to 8 inch long ripened green to red fruit, 75 days, basically another sweet pepper. So those are our sweet peppers that we started. So basically, we'll have enough for hopefully for sale and transplants, and have enough to provide our customers with the sweet peppers that they ask for. Next on the list, going up in Scoville units. If you guys don't know what Scoville is the unit rating of how hot a pepper is from 0 all the way up to rip your face off hot. So next up in the Scoville will be a jalapeno. Most everybody here has probably tasted a jalapeno. We grow a couple different kinds. We've got 3 kinds growing this year. We've got Craig's Grande, which is a tried and true for us. We grew these last year with great success. So we grew Craig's Grande. I don't have the other seed packets. I don't know if I tossed those or what, but we grow a Big Jim, which is another big jalapeno pepper. What they are is basically 1.5 times, maybe 2 times the size of a standard jalapeno. They're great for stuffing. A lot of people use them in salsas and stuff, and they also do a lot of poppers with these. And we also bought a, it's called, I think it's Jalapeno Gigantica, which is the same type of style giant jalapeno. Moving up from there, we're getting a little bit hotter. These are, oh, the mailman. These are red cherry hots. There are 3,000 to 5,000 Scoville. Actually, I think these are probably less. Jalapenos are probably more than 5,000 on the Scoville. Maybe. You know what? Maybe not. Anyway, we're going to go to these red cherry hots, which are like little balls of fire. I watch a channel on YouTube called The Veggie Boys, and they are a family-run farm in Pennsylvania. They grow 80 acres of vegetables, and they have a family-run farm market on the farm that they sell their vegetables at. They grow a lot of these, and they seem to sell a lot of these. I've never had these before. I've never seen them here in Kansas. I've seen the seeds, but I've never seen anybody grow them. So this year, I was at the seed store yesterday buying a couple things for a customer of ours, and it's just like anything else. I see the deer in the headlight, the rabbit hole, and I see a whole stacks of seeds and trays of seeds. And the lady there was like, "Tracy, you need to look at these seeds. We got a new line of pepper seeds, and you need to check these out." And so I said, well, I shall. So what I did was I went onto the rack with the bad advisement of my wife, which tells me I no longer need to buy any more seeds. I am all seeded out. I need to share them with other people and save them for other people. So that was one devil on this side. That was the angel on this side. The devil won out, and I ended up coming home with what I needed plus another couple packs of seeds. So I've got some red cherry hots planted in the propagation tent, which you saw. And next on, let me see here. I'm going to try to do this by Scoville. We grew last year, if you guys watch our channel, you know we grew these purple cayenne style peppers, which are called Bueno Mulatas. Very, very fresh tasting, very beautiful purple color. And the flowers are like a violet to dark purple color. Oh, they're beautiful. I took a couple pictures of those when I put them on Instagram and also on our YouTube channel. I love, love, love the look of these peppers. So I told my wife, I said, these are for sure a heavy hitter with this year. So we grew, I think I started, I don't know how many came in this. 25 to 50. So we started the whole pack. So at least 25 seeds. I think there was actually 30 or 35 in this when I counted them. So we got at least 25 or 30 of these plants that we are growing. And then along to go with that, the big brother of that is the Ring of Fire Cayenne. I've heard a lot of good things about these Ring of Fire. And so we had a couple requests from some of my friends and other customers that requested a cayenne style pepper that they could dehydrate, make chili powder out of, or Tabasco sauce or anything like that. So between this Bueno Mulata and this Ring of Fire, I think we've got them covered. Stepping up in Scoville, we will go to the habaneros, which last year we grew West Indies red habaneros. These things are amazing. If you are a pepper eater, and by no means am I talking ghost pepper, anything like that where it eats your face off, acid zombie apocalypse style pepper. If you are into eating a good style pepper, these were a hit last year with customers and friends. These West Indies habanero are much like the orange habanero that we all grow, but these have a fruity bite. I mean, a habanero has a fruit taste to it anyway, but this is more of a mango pineapple kind of taste to this with the bright red color. These things are amazing. I have a friend that makes homemade habanero hot sauce with it, and this is what he buys, and he loves these. So I grew another packet of these, which it looks like it says 10 seeds in here. I think we actually grew 2 packets, and I think there's 20. We started 20 of these, and then we also started 20 of these chocolate habaneros, which are basically the same thing as a habanero, but it's got a little chocolatey backside taste to it, kind of like a Sumatra-style coffee or something like that. So we're trying to up our pepper game. By no means are we experts at this. Usually I grow the things I know I like, and I'm kind of stepping out a little bit on some of these brands. So hopefully these are going to be home runs for us, and we will keep them in our arsenal from now on. So chocolate habanero was one. Next step going up from there is what they call a Puma. And it's the same habanero cousin style base, but it's got, as you can see the colors on that, if you can see that. It's got beautiful colors on this. It says it's got brushwork. This is how I love Baker Creek, their explanation of their seeds, if you guys have never read their packets. It says the Puma pepper is a masterful mix of visual intrigue and high-intensity flavor. 3-inch long fruit has brushstrokes of tangerine and violet bursting with habanero-level heat and edible, ornamental, handsome foliage, and stems are forest green tinged with deep purple. Baker Creek, by far, has the best explanation for their seeds. They can make a standard Better Boy tomato sound like it's worth $1 billion. These guys actually, it's very cool, some of the stuff they wrote on the back of this. Going up from there, we are going to a Red Savina. This is actually a habanero cousin also. It's bred to be a little larger, a little hotter, and a heavier feel to it than our standard habanero. 250,000 Scoville on the heat unit. So that's just a tick hotter than your standard. Let's see what this West Indies is. It doesn't even say what the West Indies is, but I think a habanero is like $1.50. I'm probably wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere it was $1.50. So this is a 250. So we're definitely getting a little hotter in heat. Let's try. This is called a Brazilian starfish. It's unique, deep red star-shaped fruit of vegetable heat, veritable heat, yet juicy and often quite sweet. So we're going to try that. I'm not sure what the Scoville unit is on that. I'm sure it's something to have a little bit of heat. But, these things are very sought after when you only get 10 seeds for $5. So, these are pretty hard to come by. The next one we have is the Komodo dragon. I know that just sounds like it's ripping your face off, doesn't it? Kind of like Jurassic Park kind of deal. So we got a Komodo dragon. It's 2-inch long fruit. It says you get a lot of flavor before the pain. So if that tells you something. Plants grow 3 foot tall and they're very productive. The heat level is savage, and the Scoville unit is 1.4 million on the Scoville unit. It says it's got intense heat that lingers on. At first, you can taste a wonderful hot fruitiness, but then after about 10 seconds, the full might of this little demon hits you, and your whole mouth is aglow. That's getting up there. 1.4 million, that's... I decided I didn't grow very many of these hot ones because I wanted to make sure I could sell them. But like I said, I did have requests for some hotter peppers for some chili powders. So, Komodo dragon. Last but not least is a tidal wave of scorching fire. We all know it as the Carolina Reaper. They were declared to be the hottest pepper in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records in 2013. It has the official average measured Scoville rating at 1.569 million Scoville units. I don't know how much of a difference between 1.4 and almost 1.6 is. Probably something, but I would think if 1.4 is ripping your face off, this is actually zombie apocalypse melting flesh. So that's what we are growing for peppers this year. God save us. As these start germinating better, as you guys saw in the propagation tent, I will pull those out, and or I will actually open them up, let them grow a little bit in that tent, and then I'll up pot them to 4-inch pots. So you'll see me doing that, and then we will put them in the high tunnel, and that's what they'll live until summer. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being subscribers to our channels. You do not know how much that means to me, that there are more than 400 people. We just hit the 400 mark this week. More than 400 people that like hanging out with us. That really amazes me. I don't think I have 1 or 2 good friends in my entire life, let alone 400 people that watch me every week. I don't even think my friends watch me every week. That's how good of friends you guys are. Once again, if you guys like to share this with people, share it with anybody that you think likes gardening or the aspects of gardening, or even, heck, just something to watch while they're social distancing from this pandemic. And third, please, if you don't subscribe to this channel and you are just watching us and you just found us by liking, if you're not yet on the fence of subscribing, make sure you at least hit the like button. That helps us with YouTube to get our videos shown in front of more people out there. But once again, guys, I appreciate everything you do. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you later. You're just so stunning. I've been feeling